All right, let's get started. If everyone can turn their attention forwards. Perfect. Well, good morning, everybody. Good morning. Perfect. One polite person. I don't know about the rest of you guys. What's that?
Great rising.
Great rising. Perfect. So if anyone needs, I don't know. I'm not even gonna make the joke. All right, I'm not gonna make it. I'm just gonna roll with it. All right. Yeah. So welcome everyone to the Power Speaker Academy. This is going to be an extraordinary 2 days. I mean that truly, truly extraordinary for each and every one of you, because so many of you have different reasons that you're here. We're gonna talk about that in a second. Like, I think it's very, very cool. You all have different reasons for being here. Some of you are here because you want to monetize the internet in webinars, lives, Facebook ads, video ads, different things like that. Raise your hand if you would like to make money with ads and videos online. Cool. How many of you here would like to just become a better speaker with friends and family and your relationships? You can raise your hand more than once, it's okay. Great. And how many of you would like to become a more unleashed, charismatic person just for yourself? Good. All right, so we're all here for a variety of different reasons, and that is what I love about speaking maybe more than anything else, is it is like the rising tide that raises all ships. You know what that means? It means you get better at speaking, and what happens? Everything else gets better. There is nothing that your speaking doesn't influence. How many days a week do you have conversations? Every day. God damn, every single day, right? Every day. How many days a week do you do calculus? How many? 0. Me too, right? 0. 0 days of calculus. Yet in high school, we spent hours and hours and hours failing at calculus, right? We didn't go to the same school, but we all failed separately, right? So they spent all this time teaching us things like calculus. What if we had just had 1 hour a day through all of high school on public speaking? Can you imagine? How cool would that be? 9th grade, 10th grade, 11th grade, 12th grade, you spend an hour just working on your public speaking. Where would you be right now? What would have changed for you in college? I wouldn't have been a virgin until I was 20, I promise you that, all right? So speaking is an incredible thing, and for me, it is something that I have consistently worked on every single day of my life since I was about 20 years old. When I started my online business, my first one, it was a basketball business, right? We didn't have iPhones. We didn't even have good cameras. You know what we took our videos on? Somebody remember this? It was flip cams. Anyone here, raise your hand if you had a flip cam. Yeah, you remember those? Remember how shitty the quality was when you uploaded it to your shitty laptop? It was terrible, right? But that's what we used. And I saw, even back then, this was 2009, 2010, that like, if I could get good on video, I would have such an advantage over everyone else in my marketplace. Everyone else, because while they would have to spend 30 days or 40 days writing copy and writing all these words, I could hit the fucking record button and then record something in an hour and be done. I could get 40 times more done than them in a 40-day period if I was good enough on video. If my speaking on camera was good enough that it would be better than copy. Does that make sense? Yes? Yeah, so it's something I've worked on every single day. And it's cool because as you get better at copy, your speaking gets better because your words get better. As you get better at closing and selling, your speaking gets better because you become better at persuading. But when you become really, really good at speaking, it influences everything. I mean, everything. All right, so a couple ground rules I'm gonna share before we get started. Number one, this is not the high status summit, in case you couldn't tell, right? This is more intimate. We have about 21 people here, so it's good. Very, very intimate. That means I'm not gonna have you stand up and thrust your fist in the air every 40 minutes to keep you awake and feeling good, all right? Who's in control of your state? You are, that's right. So, if at any time you, like, here's the thing, like, I was just talking to Stanley, right? Everyone say, hi, Stanley. Hi, Stanley. One thing we do in here, by the way, just so you guys know, is we don't clap, we show love. All right, and the way we do that is you'll hear me say, let's give him some love, and I'll say 1, 2, 3, and then we'll all direct the energy at him, and we'll clap. All right? So let's give Stanley some love. Let's practice. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Beautiful. So Stanley was just in Scotland at the Dan Pena seminar. Hell yeah. Pretty cool, right? If you had to share one thing that stood out to you about that event and Dan more than anything else, what would it be?
Setting huge goals, like huge
I set small goals, made it 50 million. So it's just like, just setting huge audacious goals. That was the hugest takeaway for me.
Good. Well, it's almost like, if to make the deal happen, you're gonna have to have conversations with 200 people, let's say, and convert 200 people in conversations, right? Those conversations can be about a $1 million deal or a $100 million deal, but the number of conversations you're gonna have are the same, and the actual conversations are gonna be the same. So it may as well be for 100 instead of 1.
Exactly.
Right? It's the same thing, yeah. The only reason you won't go for 100 is because you believe you don't deserve 100, or you can't have 100, or whatever your bullshit excuse is. Yes. So, anyways, when I went to the Dan Pena seminar in Scotland, it was 7 days. We spent all day right in his little room, and it's hot. The air conditioning's not that good. You're wearing a suit. I don't wear suits. I wasn't comfortable. And like by day 3 in the afternoon, I started falling asleep when he would be talking, right? Which seems crazy, but I would start falling asleep. Did you notice anyone else in the room starting to look a little fatigued or doing the thing where they stand up to try and stay awake? Yeah, it's like a thing everyone does there, right? And that's what I started to do is during the event, I would just stand up. And I figured out ways to like keep myself awake. I realized if I like squeeze my fists really hard, that would wake me up. If I like do deep breathing, but I didn't want to like stand out. Like I wanted to do like the bow, like bioenergetics, but I don't know that Pena would like that, like in the middle of the seminar. So I would just like quietly be like, like trying to like wake myself up. But I found ways to do it. All right.
He used to hit people, now he doesn't do that anymore.
Yes, he used to hit people, although he enters once in a while with a riding crop in his hand. Yeah. Anyone see that? I used to actually on stage have a stick. Yeah. You remember that? I'm thinking about bringing the stick back. It's kind of cool, yeah. Just no reason at all. Don't use it for anything, you just hold the stick. All right? We'll talk about like why you would do that in terms of speaking in a little bit. But the point is, find ways to keep yourself in state. Find ways to keep yourself awake. Right? We did an event here last week. Raise your hand if you were here. Yeah, we had our winning offer last weekend, a whole copywriting workshop, 2 days. 3 of you were there. How fast did it go by?
Very fast.
Yeah, did you guys get tired at any point? No, right, and that was, 16 hours over 2 days. And the reason for that is I'm good at this now. I know how to keep you guys engaged, I know how to keep you awake, and I'm gonna do my best to do it. But don't count on me, just like in life, don't depend on fucking anybody, right? You take control of your state and you do what you gotta do to keep yourself engaged. Make sense, yes?
Yes.
Perfect, all right, so that's number 1. Number 2, this isn't high school, this isn't elementary school. If you have to go to the bathroom, what do? You get up and you go to the bathroom. Yeah, at big events, people that's not an issue because no one sees you get up and go. But in a smaller room, sometimes you're like, wait, should I go? Go, all right, that's fine. So that's totally cool. 3, if you want to take, I see some of you already doing it, like taking videos for Instagram and stuff like that, that's totally fine. I have no problem with that. If you tag us, that's cool. I frankly don't give a shit, but do what you got to do. That's cool. That's about it. You guys ready to get started?
Yeah.
All right, let's begin. So, here's why I'm doing this. All right, I have 2 reasons why I'm doing this. I have a selfish reason and I have an unselfish reason. All right, my selfish reason is I have a goal, all right, and I came up a couple months ago. It's called my Millionaire 100 goal. All right, anyone heard me talk about this? What is it? I love, by the way, I'm just gonna start, I'm gonna interrupt as I'm teaching just to show you, because I was talking to this girl yesterday, I'm like, it's ironic that I'm speaking about speaking, right? It's kind of ironic there. So as I'm constantly doing things, I'm gonna stop what I'm doing. We're gonna hit pause button real quick. I'm gonna step out of this. We're gonna create a meta frame. And then I'm gonna point at what I just did to let you guys in on it so you can do it too. Does that make sense? Yeah. Right. So it's always a good idea. Ben Franklin has this quote where he says teach me something and I'll remember part of it, but involve me and I'll remember forever. It's kind of the idea. Point being, the more involvement you can get from your audience in a live setting, the better it's gonna be. So, don't think it's all on you to have to carry all the weight. This is a huge misconception. It's not your job to carry all the weight. They're you guys wanna work, don't you? Yeah, we all wanna be useful. So, if there's things you can have your audience share instead of you, all the better. If you can get them involved, all the better. So instead of me telling you what my Millionaire 100 goal is, why not ask you guys who knows it and then have someone tell it? Does that make sense? Yes. Totally do this. All right, what is it?
By the time you're done with this, become an angel investor or whatever, you might have 100 millionaire students.
Yes. That is basically almost word for word from the copy. Yeah, right. My goal is basically by the time I call it quits with what I'm doing now, I don't know when that'll be, but by the time I do, I want 100 millionaire students, 100 people who worked with me and became millionaires in the process. Right? I want to write a book about it and have a feature on each of them. They get their own chapter in the book. pimp the shit out of the book. Like, I think it'd be really, really cool. So that's part of the reason why I'm doing this. I know one of the fastest ways for someone to become a millionaire is to get really, really good at speaking and on camera and persuasion in a one-to-many setting so that you can scale up your sales. Does that make sense? Yeah. Right? So that's kind of like, that's my selfish reason why I'm doing this. All right, the unselfish reason is that I simply have been asked for many, many years to teach speaking, and I never did. In fact, I know Eric has been learning from me since he was 12. All right, since he was 12. What was the first product you bought? Make Women Want You, my book, when I was a dating coach, when he was 12 years old. The biggest pimp in 7th grade, all right? Totally, right? It's amazing. 7 years. And you can probably remember, like 5 years ago, I was talking about Power Speaker. Yes. Do you remember that? Yes. I literally been talking about this program for almost 5 years now, have never taught it once. So I've been asked about it for many, many years, and it's like, now's the time, right? It's cool, we're ready for it. So those are my reasons for doing this. Now I want to hear from you, why are you here, right? Why do you want to become a power speaker? Yes, Alan.
So I kind of told you at Status Summit, I went through a bunch of bullshit as a kid. By the time I was like 12, I moved like 30 times. I'm from a town named Man, West Virginia, which is kind of ironic when we're living during a masculinity crisis in America and maybe around the world. I spent 15 years caught up in the psychiatric system. I spent 15 years hooked on drugs. I've been homeless 4 or 5 times. I had a 100-mile-an-hour car accident that no one else was involved in, that I drove away from, drinking and driving. If I keep going, I'm just going to keep going. I've been a musician since I was 5 years old. Like, I had a really fucked up relationship with my mom. We both treated each other terribly. It's made my relationship with women.
All right, pause. Why do you want to become a power speaker, though? I'd much rather we focus on what's ahead than what happened.
Right.
Why? Let's look ahead. Why? Why do you want to be a power speaker? Why is becoming a power speaker for you something that not only is going to happen, but something that's going to be really, really important for you?
I think my story has the ability to really seriously
Yes.
impact other people.
Yes. Share my story. Who else here wants to become a power speaker to help share your story? Hell yeah. Awesome. Thank you. Who else? Yeah, Carlos.
So I am going to become a power speaker because energy is everything, right? So if I bring that high energy speaking and the training to my team, it's going to rub off. So just to inspire other people, and yeah, just rub off that energy.
So you want to, it's about developing the energy within yourself first, and then being able to share it with others, right? I would call that an unleashing. Is that cool?
Yeah.
Okay.
I just woke up like 20 minutes ago, so I'm trying to like put my words together.
Totally. Yeah, we need pre-unleashing to happen before actual unleashing can take place. Yes. Cool. Who else here? That's part of the reason you want to be a power speaker. A total fucking unleashing. Okay. Keep your hand raised. I just want to warn you guys. You do realize what that means, right? If you truly become unleashed, that means you are no longer you. You have become someone different, someone new. Hand still raised? He was like, I don't know. Okay, cool. Just making sure. Who else? Why else do you want to become a power speaker? Yes.
It's our duty and obligation to sell people what's good for them.
Yes. You have an obligation to help people. Do you believe if you can help people, you have an obligation to help people?
Yes.
I agree. Right? Because most people don't have the mindset, the tools, or the skills to actually help people, do they? Most people don't have that. You understand that? They don't have that. They could have that, they just haven't developed that within themselves. You, by being here, probably have developed some of that, if not a lot of that in yourself, and will continue to develop more of that as you keep going. But as you develop that ability to help yourself or help others, I believe you have an obligation to do it, right? Like, you don't want to hoard the treasure, share it, right? What's cool about that is it's like self-esteem, right? The more self-esteem you give others, the more you actually get yourself, right? The more you help others, the more you help who? Yourself. Who else here, it feels like you have an obligation to help people, and that's part of this tip for you? Kick ass. All right, let's get a couple more. Yes?
To be better at listening.
To be better at listening.
Yeah,
What do you mean specifically? Yeah.
As I expand my ability to speak and present myself, I also have the ability to understand as I take in
Yes. Okay. Cool. And just to confirm, when you talk about listening, you want to get better at listening, are you referring also to the sub-communication parts of listening? The stuff beyond the words? Yes. Right, and that's huge, especially as a speaker, because to be a good speaker, if you have a live audience, what are you constantly doing? You're reading your audience, right? You have to know, you guys know that, like at the summit here, anywhere, I'm always aware of where everyone's at. If I see energy going down, I know I gotta bring it up. If I see attention going elsewhere, I know I gotta bring it back. If I see that we've been going really hard for a while and there's a lot coming in and we need a break, I'm aware of that. There's a schedule, but I'm also playing this minute, I just take life minute by minute, right? I just wanna engage with the moment, and that's it. Okay, who else wants to get a listening and reading people? Yeah, huge talent. Okay, let's get one or two more. Yes?
I feel like I suck at speaking and I get really nervous.
Okay, are you nervous right now?
Yeah.
Does it seem to you like everyone else can tell you're nervous?
Sorta.
Watch this. Who here, before he said it, thought he looked nervous? A few of you. Who here did not think that? You create a story in your head that's probably not true. I'm just loosening the jar so we can unravel it later. Yeah. Okay. So you just want to get more comfortable expressing yourself. Is it cool if I write expression?
Yeah.
Okay. Who here wants to get better at expressing themselves? Yeah, totally. All right, totally. We call it 1 arrow instead of 10 arrows. Right? Most of you, when you are speaking to your friends on a video or anywhere, you literally fire off 10 arrows with your words just to hit the bullseye once. Power speakers only need 1 arrow, and they hit their target. You guys ever met someone, and the way they just describe things, it's short, but it's so impactful in the few words that they use? Yeah, those people are excellent speakers. All right, 1 arrow, not 10. Okay, let's get one more. One more, over here, yeah.
Learn how to hold a group's attention.
Yeah. Yeah. Hold. That's a skill, isn't it? Yeah. And by the way, attention might be the most valuable skill a power speaker can have. Holding someone's attention. Do you think I'm pretty good at holding people's attention? Yeah. I was not born that way. When I was younger, people used to ignore me. They would walk away from me in the middle of a conversation. Who does that? Fucking dicks, right? Who does that? That's what they would do. Right, and I realized, okay, instead of me getting mad at them, how about I look within myself and be, what am I doing here to create this outcome? And how can I influence that? I can get better at holding people's attention. And I learned the skills I needed to hold people's attention. Do you think you could learn the skills you need to hold people's attention? Yeah, you guys want to know the best part? There's only like 4. There's only like 4 things you have to know to hold people's, it's so simple. You'll see, it's so simple. We're gonna practice it. All right, and just a little sidebar here. So, when it comes to selling anything, one-to-many, one-on-one, copy, in person, there is an old sales formula that goes back over 100 years, and it's kind of like the ultimate sales formula, all right, AIDA. Who here could tell me, see I'm doing it again, who here could tell me what AIDA stands for? Yes?
Attention, interest, desire, action.
Yes. Attention, interest, decision, action. All right, attention, interest, decision, action. Meaning, yes, I want you to take an action here, but I cannot get you to take a new action until you've done what? Decided, right? Until you've decided to take a new action. But I can't get you to decide to take a new action until I have your interest about it, right? You're not gonna decide that you wanna do something until you're interested in it. But I can't even get you fucking interested in the thing until I have your attention first. Does that make sense? You guys follow that, right? So this is how people look at it, right? AIDA, and it's a nice little formula. However, the problem is the English language is horizontal, right? It goes left to right. So when people see this and they hear this, they think, oh, so AIDA, and like, I'll get their attention, then I'll get their interest, and I'll get a decision out of them, and then we'll lead the action, we'll make it happen. But when you do that, you assume that each of these are equal in value. You assume that they're equal. They're not, all right? It's like this. Attention is the most important one. And here's why, right? It's what I just said. I can't get you to take new action until I have decision. I can't get a decision until I have interest. I can't get interest until I have your attention. Attention comes first. It is the most important. It's like platinum, right? And interest is like gold. And decision is like silver. and the action is like bronze in terms of how important these things are. Platinum, gold, silver, bronze. Attention is the most important thing. We're gonna make that happen here. Cool. So let's get that on the board. So who here also wants to get better at holding people's attention? Yeah. Why? Why do you want to get better at holding people's attention? Yes.
Attention dominates this day and age because people's attention are constantly getting attacked.
Yes. People are incredibly distracted today. Distraction is huge. Whenever we survey like our Instagram or email list, we talk about the biggest struggles or challenges that they have right now. Usually one of the biggest ones is, they call it laziness or procrastination, but what it really is they're incredibly distracted. They have ADD. They have the attention span that's 7 seconds long, and they're on Instagram. And like, who here ever goes on Instagram and you don't know how you got there? Like, think about that. That's just an autopilot program you're running. You're not conscious in that moment. And your brain, like when you're not conscious and you're not in the driver's seat, your subconscious is running things, and what does it want? It just wants a fucking dopamine hit, right? So it's just like, no, stay asleep, don't do anything. We're gonna get our fucking dopamine here. Like, that's literally what's happening. So attention is huge, right? Not only that, but the battle for your audience's attention is stronger than ever before. When I started online, like, no one had an email list. 2009, like, no one had an email list. It was great because in your inbox, it was like me and 4 other people sending you marketing emails. That was it. Now, how many companies and businesses have email lists? Everyone's caught on. Everyone has an opt-in, everyone has an email list. In fact, how many of you have hundreds, if not thousands, of unread marketing emails in your inbox right now? That was a fast hand back there. Yeah, it is insane, right? I have over 600,000 unread emails in my inbox. And that's in one of them. Dan, I don't even want to know what yours looks like. Yeah, it's terrible, right? It's terrible. So, like, there's more, like, email, that's a thing now. It wasn't a thing. Now it's a thing. Everyone does email, so that's where it's hard to compete there, right? It's really hard to compete. Instagram, right? That's another one. How many people do you follow? 38, 1,000 or 200. How many do you follow? 400. How many of them do you actually look at? 1. No, like 10, right? Right. So what is the 10 doing that the 390 aren't? That's the question we're gonna answer. Okay, so we have a lot of good reasons why you want to be a power speaker, right? We want to get better at listening and reading the audience. We want to get better at sharing our story. We want to unleash our fucking selves and our energy and our charisma, right? We know we have an obligation to help people, and we know that, by the way, power speaking, that's how you help at scale, right? If I can't speak really well, or I can only hold one person's attention at a time, I can only help one person at a time. But if I'm really good at speaking, I can put 10,000 people in a room and I can help them all at the same time. I can help a lot more people at once, which is better, right? We want to get better at expressing ourselves, right? We want to get comfortable expressing ourselves. Can you just uncross your arms, put your legs down, let your arms hang, take a deep breath in, loud exhale. Good, thank you. Okay, you're just holding it real tight there. Yeah, let's let go. Let's let go of the handlebars. You're gonna ride just fine, I promise. That bike will go, the wheels move, all right? So that's why we want to become power speakers, all right? For me, the reason I wanted to become a power speaker at first was for money, right? It was purely, I don't know, it was purely for money. It was largely for money. I was like, if I get good at this shit, I can make a lot of money, like a lot of money, right? You guys know how much Donald Trump gets paid for an hour speech?
4.5 million.
Okay, 150,000, 100,000, 1.5 mil. 1.5. Yeah, it's about $1.5 million an hour now. $1.5 million in an hour. Raise your hand if you want $1.5 million an hour. Okay, nice. Me too. I like it. That's insane. But you're like Donald Trump, billionaire, real estate mogul, president. Of course he gets $1.5 million, right? What about Tony Robbins? I will just say this just so it's clear, because people ask me about it a lot, because like we're in the same industry, I'm just like 30 years younger. Like, who here thinks Tony Robbins is an incredible fucking speaker? Yes, I believe Tony Robbins is the best speaker alive today. I think he might be the best speaker ever. Like, ever. And there may never be anyone as good as him. That's a good bar to stand. Like, that guy is freaking unbelievable, all right? I have like a hero of mine. Yeah, she brings it with her everywhere she goes. She got the freaking the binder.
Just one last week.
Oh, that's amazing. Are you still riding the wave?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. So, yeah, he's unbelievable, right? Unbelievable. How much do you think he gets paid per hour to talk now? Like, he has his own events. I mean, when another company, like, books him to speak. I set the bar a little high. Let's put our feet down in reality. $250,000 an hour. $250,000 for an hour. Raise your hand. You're into it? Yeah, I'm into it also. Okay, what about Gary Vee? Right, Gary Vee hasn't been popular for that long. Raise your hand if you only discovered Gary Vee in the last 12 months. Okay, some of you, raise your hand if you only discovered Gary Vee in the last couple of years, 2 to 3 years. Yeah, almost everyone in this room, right? So he's not like, Tony's been doing this for 40 years. Donald Trump's, 40 years. Gary Vee, 3 or 4 years, you've known him. How much do you think Gary Vee gets paid to talk now in an hour? $150,000 an hour. He gets $150,000 for an hour. And he doesn't even say anything. Like, I just need to point that he doesn't say anything. It's like, it feels good, and it's like interesting, and he wears like a beanie, and he goes on his knees, he says fuck a lot, right? And he goes like this with his arms. Like, I don't know what he's doing, but listen, I'll do this for $150,000, I don't give a fuck. Like, the point is, 3 years is not that much time. 3 years, that's a blink of an eye. Where were you 3 years ago? It wasn't that long ago. 3 years ago, he was wherever. Today, $150,000 an hour. You, $0 an hour. All right, we can change that. All right, we can totally change that. All right, when I was thinking about making money speaking when I was younger, I wasn't thinking about getting paid to do talks. Right, to me, this is just my model. That is a side benefit. Right, my thing is video, ads, my own events, and then if people want to pay me, that's fine. I go $25,000 an hour is what I get right now, and that's cool. Right, but that's just a side benefit. Okay, so some of you may want to just do the speaking thing. Any of you guys just want to do speaking at other people's events, speak to corporate groups and things like that, and just get a nice check and then walk out? Cool. Right, cool. How many of you want to get better at speaking because you're going to be selling your own products and your own services? Okay, cool. Most of you. All right, yeah. So for me, it was about money. Right, it was totally about money. And then from 2012, 2016, I was running mostly my dating business online, and it was going really well. And the only speaking I did was on video. Right, it was great. I did it all from my fucking backyard. Like, it was wonderful. I'd go to the gym, and then I pull out my iPhone and I record a video. Like, that was how I did it. And then in 2016, January, I had my first big live event, like, with my clients. And we had 225 people in Las Vegas at Caesar's Palace for that event. And I spoke there. We had 2 days, and I got to meet people and shake hands. Any of you guys have an audience online, and they're just kind of like, they're people, but they're also like numbers, and then you actually meet them in person, and you're like, oh, you're people. That's awesome. I get it, right? Because you don't realize, if you're online, you don't realize the impact that you're making. You get an email from someone, they're like, you changed my life, and that's cool, but it's just words on a screen. But when you hear someone say it to you, then I heard it in Vegas. I heard someone say that to me. I heard a lot of people say that to me. And it flipped the switch in me. It changed me. I realized I have an obligation here to make a really, really big impact on people. For whatever reason, I have a gift. I'm able to do this, and it's my duty to like give it to more people and light more people up. Like, I have to do that. And that's where live events start to come in, right, for me. So it started with money, and now it's like, no, we can do a lot of shit. Like, I can't tell you how many people come up to me, Jason, I've been to all these other seminars, all these other events, but the summit is just the best 3 days of my life. All right, and that's just awesome, right? It's awesome. That's a big part of it. So let's just go over a couple. Let me take this down for a second. I want to go over a couple facts. All right, I just want to go over a couple facts and reasons as to why this is so important that you guys are here right now. All right, so the only fact that I think really matters, I can give you tons, is just this. By next year, 2020, the internet will be 4/5 video. All right, 4/5 of traffic on the internet will be video by 2020. By 2021, more than 90% of the internet will be video. By 2022, it will be above 95%. Okay. What does that tell you? Do video, yes. Succinct and one arrow, you nailed it, right? Do video. Video is taking over the internet. If you go on my Instagram feed, you will not see any pictures. We don't post any pictures at all because they don't work. I mean, they work, but they don't do nearly what video does. All right, so video is going to be huge. And video is like it's easier than ever before. Right? Again, 2009 when I was just starting, I used a flip cam, right? And it was super pixelated and it looked like shit. All right. In fact, you go on YouTube, you can still see those videos. I bought them online. All right. And that's one good thing. I think I've talked about this before, but I think everyone should do. Maybe just do it tonight when you're in a hotel room or whatever. Go online and watch Gary Vee's first video ever. Raise your hand if you've seen this. You know what I'm talking about. I believe I did it on a webinar too where I showed it. His very first video of Wine Library TV. It's like from 2005, 2006. It's still online. You can search Gary Vaynerchuk's first video. Right, he's a great speaker today, but watch the first video he did and you will be bored to tears. It's not good at all, right? But it's great for you to see because you realize, oh, he sucked when he started too. Raise your hand if you're like, I suck right now. Like, you're gonna be honest with yourself. You're like, I suck at speaking. Good, all right? You are on the same path that Gary Vee was, and look where he is now. If he could do it, guess what? So can you. All right, no question. So it's easier than ever before to do video, right? You just literally pull out your iPhone. You wanna know something crazy? Who here, tell me the truth, thinks that if you wanna become a big brand online for your company, your own personal brand, whatever, you need like a video team. Like you'll be good, but to get to that highest level, you're gonna need really good video production. Because that's what all you see out so many big guys doing. Yeah, about half this room. All right, bullshit, you don't need that at all. All right, don't need that at all. All right, glass shattering all around you right now. Yeah. What's that? So our top converting ads, I'll show you guys some of these if you want. Top converting ads on Instagram and Facebook, and our top converting landing pages, all our sales videos, every single one is shot on an iPhone. And not even with the videographer, with my right hand. All of them. And when we do high quality video to try and beat it, it loses every single time. We live in an age now where authenticity, to me, is the highest thing. I think people are so skeptical of all the shit that they see, because they've seen so many ads and there's so much advertising clutter out there, that they see high quality production and they automatically go, I'm getting sold right now. But when they see iPhone, they go, oh, someone wants to speak to me. There's a big difference between the two, right? And you don't, if you're selling anything, you never want to put their guard up for them. You don't want to do anything that puts their guard up because then your message can't get through. And if they see high quality video, they go, oh. But if they see iPhone video, they go, oh, interesting, right? They lean, it's a big difference. I see this over, and I'm not just like, the numbers show this, all right? We hundreds of thousands of dollars spent on ads. We see it over and over and over. iPhone wins. Yes?
Well, I was thinking you have someone follow you with maybe an iPhone video, but you have a camera on you.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
That was what I was
Totally. Yeah, I'm saying when you're speaking, the point is that this works better than anything. Like this truly, truly works better than anything. Like this stuff here, why do we have cameras here? Donovan is amazing. What's up, Donovan? That's Scott. Scott is amazing. Everyone say hi, Scott. Scott does a presidential wave. That was solid with the left. You gotta go with the right hand though, not the left hand. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, we have them here recording because this is gonna be a program, right? And we're gonna sell this thing online. So you in the future who purchases, thank you so much. I love you. All right? So we're gonna sell this. So we want it to be high quality, right? Because it's teaching. But if I'm selling or I'm persuading, I'm using an iPhone, right? So there's no barriers, right? Raise your hand if you have a phone with a camera. Is there anyone here who doesn't have a phone with a camera? No? What's that? You do? Okay, perfect. Everyone's got it. All right, you guys have all the equipment you need. All right, so that's not an excuse, right? You do not need you don't need it at all, okay? And then the last part is, it's so easy to go live now. We talked about this at the summit. It's so easy to go live. There's a webinar I do for Power Speaker where I do a live demonstration of how to go live on Instagram. All right, I literally do a full video on this. I'm like, watch how simple this is. 3 clicks. All right, I take out my phone. I open Instagram, 1 click. I hit go live, 2nd click. And then it says are you sure you're going live after you click this button? 3rd click. And then it goes live. And then I'm like, there. That's it. You're live now. That's it. Do you understand how hard it was to do a live webinar in 2012? It sucked. All right, it was like, you have to hire a coding team, you have to get all the integrations. There's so much stuff that needs to happen to run a webinar. It's not that hard. Now it's easier. You can go on Fiverr.com, And you can pay someone $10 and they will set up your entire webinar for you on a Webinar Jam platform, which is what we use. But Fiverr.com, Fiverr.com. Great site. 10, 15 bucks that will set up your whole webinar for you. So you don't need to know how to do it. Great resource. The 4 keys to being a power speaker. All right, number 1, and this should be a rehash for some of you at the summit. All right, but the first mindset we always remember is when I am on stage, this is my house. When I am on stage, this is my house. Even if I'm speaking at someone else's event, right? The mic's in my hand. I hate mics in my hand, by the way. I much prefer like lapel. And that's one thing, like you guys will see, like if you start getting booked at speaking at other people's events, those are certain questions you should ask. Like, what kind of mic do you guys use? Is it a lapel mic? Is it a handheld? Is it an ear thing? Like, what is it? Because that will affect. Like, I spoke a few weeks ago at an event in Vegas, and it was called M3. Dan was there also. And the mic was a handheld mic, like this. And they didn't tell me that, right? They screwed a lot of things up at that event. What was my walkout music? What was my walkout music that they played?
Young Thug.
They played, I don't even know who that is, all right? My walkout music was supposed to be Dr. Dre and Eminem, and I go to walk out, and then Young Thug starts playing. And I'm literally walking up, and you see me walking on stage, and I look back to Tiffany, and I'm like, what the fuck? It was a bad start there. And then it's a handheld mic, all right? Why do you think I don't like a handheld mic? I can't fucking use my hands. You guys notice how much I use these things? We're talking about why that is. I'm gonna help you guys start doing this too. I can't use my hands. How important is body language? Yeah, you give an audience, you give your speakers a handheld mic, you take away maybe the most important communication tool that they have. You hurt your audience because you chose the wrong mic. Don't do that, all right? So, my house. So whether it's my event or someone else's event, that is my mindset. This is my house, all right? Which means, right, when it's your house and you have guests over, what's your mindset? What are you thinking? What are you trying to do for your guests? Yes?
You invite them in your home and they can stay in your home. They're your guests, but you're the authority. You command.
Yeah, totally. Yes. Yeah. You want to make them feel good, right? When you have guests over, do you usually want to make them feel good? Yeah. Do you want to make them feel comfortable? Yeah. Do you kind of want to show them around, give them a tour? Yeah. Right? But who's leading? You are. You guys ever had someone come into your apartment or in your house and they just start like rummaging through your shit without asking? Have you ever had that before? Raise your hand if you've had that experience. You had someone steal something. Yeah. How annoying is that shit? Yeah. So what do you do if it's your house? You say, "Stop, you young man. Back away from my pantry. Sit down. I will get you what you are." You don't actually say that. But the point is it's your house, right? Your house means your rules. Yes. Your rules. You guys know that term ruler? Like you're a ruler, you're a king. What is it that makes a ruler a ruler? There's only one thing. They make the rules. That's the whole definition of being a ruler. You make the rules. That's it. Right? So your stage, your talk, your video, your webinar, your live, your rules. When we started here today, did I set ground rules? Yeah, totally. Right? Is it like a domineering way? Like, haha, I set the rules, you didn't? No. Right? It's your responsibility to set the rules for everyone. Because here's the thing. They enter this room, they enter this webinar, they enter this video. They don't know what the fuck is going on. Right? They don't know. How am I supposed to act here? What am I supposed to do? Remember your first webinar you ever went on? You were like, am I supposed to comment also? Right? You don't even, like, I see other people commenting, maybe I should. You don't know how things are supposed to work here. Meaning, what is the context here? How are things supposed to work here? So it's the speaker's job to say, hey, here's how it works here. Here's the first rule, here's the second rule, here's the third rule. Make sense? Yes? Great, then let's get started. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Right, so it's your house when you're on stage. I'm gonna take care of my guests, I'm gonna make them feel good, I'm gonna give them a great tour, I'm going to show them how it works here, I'm gonna set the rules, I'm gonna make them feel comfortable, but I am leading start to finish, right? Okay, so my house. Second one. When I am speaking, I am the teacher, I am not a speaker. Okay? A lot of times people hear I'm gonna be a speaker, they start thinking too much about themselves. Do I sound good? Do I look good? Is my hair okay? Like my flip-flop, this one's kind of dirty from the beach. Should I have washed that? Right? If I start thinking about that shit, who am I not thinking about anymore? Yeah. And none of you are here for me. No audience ever attends a speech to see the speaker. Even if they say they came to see the speaker. They came for themselves. There's something that they wanted to get out of it. Like even when I go to see Tony Robbins, I'm going to see Tony Robbins to improve my communication. So even when I'm going to see the speaker, I'm still doing it for myself, right? So if we know that, if we know they're not there for us, they're there for themselves, it doesn't matter how you sound. It doesn't matter how you look. What matters is the emotion and the energy being transferred. Like after a 60-minute talk, how much of your talk does your audience actually remember? 3 things. Your best bet is 3 things per hour, right? At a Tony event, you'll find in 4 days, he'll make like 20 points. And he'll just hammer home 20 points over and over and over and over and over. The 20 most important things, for instance. Because you're not gonna remember all that shit. Like calculus. How many of you, if I put calculus on the board, would know how to solve it right now? You don't remember that, right? The same way we remember stories, not facts. Like we're only gonna remember a few things. The price is normally this high, but now it's this high, and frankly, you've been here for 40 minutes. Clearly you're interested. Why not continue with the good thing? Click the button. But like, if I start doing that, who's like, that's good selling, but it's fucking selling? Raise your hand. Yeah, it's selling. None of you are buying, right? But if I go, no, I'm not selling, Jason. I am teaching here, right? Then my pitch goes to, instead of all these like buttons I'm trying to push, I go back to my core message, right? And let's say that I'm selling Power Speaker. Right, so if I'm closing here, I might say, and listen, you know in your life, how many places is it important for you to be a good speaker? You want to build your business, you need to be a good speaker. You want to connect with your partner, you got to be a better speaker. You want to motivate your employees, you got to be a better speaker. You simply want to be someone that's seen and heard and respected in your community, in your work, in your life. You have to be a good goddamn speaker. So click the button below and join the rest of us inside right now. Which one's better? The second one. Was I teaching in the second one? Yes. Was I teaching how to be a good speaker? No. What was I teaching? You want to write this down. I was teaching him what to want. Right? When I'm selling and I'm speaking at the same time, that is what I'm thinking about. I'm teaching my audience what to want. Not teaching them how to be a good speaker. I'm teaching them to want to be a good speaker. Do you guys see how that changes the whole frame, the whole dynamic? Yeah, your whole messaging changes as a result. Right? So teacher, not speaker. Number 3. Yes. All right. We talked about this briefly before. WIIFM radio. Who can tell me what that stands for? What's in it for me radio station. Yes. So what this means is that I am always, one, remembering that you're not here for me, you're here for yourselves. And because you are here for yourselves, like, how am I going to hold your attention? How am I going to keep you in it? I have to keep bringing it back to how does this affect you? This restaurant here in South Beach. And they have the best sweet and sour pork ever. It is like, if you go there, you have to get the sweet and sour pork. It's unbelievable. The way they serve it, comes with pineapple too. And pineapple and sweet and sour stuff, that mixed together is just so, who's bored already? Yes, good. I was bored too. But that's rude. I love sweet and sour pork. How could you not want to pay attention to that? Because it has nothing to do with you. Did you guys notice that? Maybe for the first time this entire time, you actually like started tuning out for a second? Because I stopped talking about you. Look how quick that just happened. It took like 8 seconds. You guys are already like, sorry, Jason, I'm out. Have fun with your pork, right? Because I stopped talking about you. I can go and I can talk about the pork, but I gotta, either before I start talking about it, I gotta make a statement that lets you know this is about you. I have to say something like, hey, I'm gonna tell you about what I had for dinner last night, but I want you to pay attention because at the end of it, it's gonna reveal a lesson that will be incredibly beneficial for you. Now you're gonna listen, right? Or I gotta tell you in the middle, I'm talking about the pork, and hold on, actually before I tell you about the pineapple, you have to listen to this because if you don't know what to order at this restaurant, it's kind of like you don't know what you want in life. There's a lesson here, right? And then I could finish the story. Now I've got you listening. But I gotta do it at the beginning or I gotta do it in the middle. If I'm gonna talk about, like, there's 3 things we can really talk about. Talk about myself, right? I can talk about you, or I can talk about other, all right? If I'm gonna talk about me, I have to, at the start or in the middle, remind you constantly. I have to tune the dial back to What's in It for Me Radio, and I have to tell you what it has to do with you, how it benefits you, how listening close will help you, more importantly, help you avoid bad things. How this is going to help you avoid bad and get more good, right? Or I can talk about you. And if I'm talking about you, I don't need to tell you how this benefits you. You're aware. But if I'm talking about other people, other things, other places, other anything, I have to tell you what this has to do with you. Otherwise, I've lost you. How many of you here would you say, raise your hand if you're a really good friend? You're like a really good friend. No one won't raise their hand to this, right? You're all really good friends. How many of you find yourself sometimes listening to a friend talk about themselves, and because you're a good friend, you keep listening even though you're bored out of your fucking mind? Yeah, most of us, right? So this lesson isn't just for you, it's for them. So next time they're talking, just interrupt them and say, hey, I want to listen. You just need to tell me how this helps me first. See how that goes over, all right? Not a real tip, okay? So that's number 3. We got to keep, just remember that. Like, think of it, like the way I imagine it is like a dial in a car, the radio dial. And you're going to keep tuning it back in. Like anytime you go to other, you've gone to 91.7. Anytime you start talking about yourself, you've gone to 94.6, right? But that 93.3, that's What's in It for Me radio. That's that dial. And anytime you go to the other ones, that's fine. But you got to keep bringing it back to 93.3. You got to keep bringing it back to What's in It for Me radio. Does that make sense? Yes or no?
That's for the audience, right, Jason?
Fantastic. What's that?
That's for the audience.
Yes, not for me, for you. Meaning, remember that the audience, imagine that they're always thinking to themselves, what's in it for me? Everything. They're always like, so imagine them as like the most selfish person on the planet, but you respect that about them. And you're going to respect that, so you're going to talk about them and what they want, how it helps them get good, and avoid bad. Okay? All right. So that's 3. And then 4. Okay? This is my ultimate mindset when I am speaking, on video, in person, or anywhere. I just want to breathe life into you. That's it. I just want to breathe life into you. If I happen to teach some good shit, that's a bonus. If I happen to make a bunch of money, that's a bonus. This is my intention. Right? Before I go on stage, before I do anything, that is the intention I set before I go on camera. Right? I do some stuff with my state, which we're going to go over when we talk about unleashing on subcommunications. But I do my state stuff, and then the last thought I have is I just want to breathe life into these people. Nothing else matters. That's it. Right? And because of that, like when I'm speaking, does it ever seem like I'm here for me and not for you? No. Right? You wouldn't listen if you didn't think I cared. Right? But I definitely do. I truly do. And I set that intention before, so it gives me that focus of I'm just here to breathe life into you. You guys know the word inspiration? Right? The definition of inspiration, if you go back to Latin root, is literally to breathe life into. That's what inspiration means. That's what I'm there to do. Right? Not motivate. There's a difference. Motivate is like me like getting up in your face and being like, are you gonna fucking do it? Yes, you're gonna fucking do it. When will you do it? Now. Right? What do you want? I don't know. Right? But I want it. That's motivation. Inspiration is, to me, it's more of, I'm gonna be the most real, raw, authentic version of myself on stage. I'm not gonna care what anyone thinks. Right? I'm there to breathe life into people. I'm there to give value. I'm gonna leave it all on the fucking line. And the example that I set is what is going to inspire others. Right? That's like a really good thing that you can think about. Right? The example that I set is gonna be what, like, and that's true, right? The example you set is what the audience is gonna remember about you. Right? They're not gonna remember what you said. You guys know the Maya Angelou quote, right? They're gonna remember how you made them feel. But what does that even mean, how that you made them feel? It's you, right? Ayn Rand said that the best gift we can give someone else is an example. And I really, really believe that. So I'm up there, I just want to breathe life into you as much as I can. Inspire you, I want to go first. Like I want to be the most real, authentic version of myself, so all of you watching and listening can say to yourselves, I want to be a little bit more real and raw and authentic in my life too, as a speaker. And
that's the inspiration part, is doing all those things.
That's it. Yes.
Person with that is kind of definition of it.
Yes, and we're gonna get into structures as to like, because you're like, well, how do I motivate? How do I inspire? How do I tell stories? I'm gonna give you guys blocks and like little boxes. You just fill in the boxes and you have your story, right? And you have what you need to say. But it needs to be coming from this intention, right? Like, what would it feel like if my only goal here was to breathe life into someone else? There is no floor beneath me, nor ceiling above me, no time existing. I'm just here to breathe life into this person right now. Do you guys see how that feels?
Yes.
Can you feel that? Right? That's what matters. You felt that, did you? Yeah, I see it on your face. What's up, man? Good?
Good.
Okay. You feel inspired right now?
Oh, yeah.
Good. Okay, it's working. So we're gonna breathe life into them, right? If anything else happens, that is a bonus. So recap, right? These are the only 4 keys that really matter in terms of your mindset and your intentions. This is it. All right, we're gonna get into like the mechanics of this stuff. But one, this is my house. I own this house. You are my guest here. And as my guest, I'm gonna treat you incredibly well, but we will not forget the number 1 rule. This is my house. 2, I'm a teacher, I'm not a speaker. Right, I'm teaching. You guys remember the difference between teacher and speaker. Right, 3, what's in it for me radio? We're always dialing it back in for them as to what is in it for them. Remember, don't go full sweet and sour pork. You can go like halfway sweet and sour pork, but stop it and bring it back. How does this affect them? And the only way you really dial it back into what's in it for me radio, just remember that people are motivated by music, just kidding, by 2 things, right? What are the 2 things people are motivated by? Pain and pleasure, right? That's it, pain and pleasure. That's it. And if we go a little further with it, right, so it's like, the way I like to think about it is like this. You might want to write this down. That's it. This is like human motivation in a 4-year-old's drawing. Okay, how a 4-year-old represents human motivation. This is pain. This is bad, bad. This is pleasure, good, good. People want to move towards good and avoid bad. That's it. So if I'm dialing it back into what's in it for me radio, what are the only 2 things I need to tell you? Right? If this is your audience at that moment right there, all I need to do is tell you how this is going to help you avoid bad and get more good. That's it. So no matter what you're talking about, who you're speaking to, or what it is that you are saying, you will always know like what you need to do to tell them what it has to do with them. Yes?
Is this similar to opening and closing loops?
No. No, that's totally different. We'll talk about that, yeah. So like, someone give me an example of what it is that your message is, what you sell, your product, etc.
Holding a home, right to the person.
Are you a realtor?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. What kind of like stuff do you specialize in? You sell houses? Residential. Okay. So, yeah, like, and you're speaking on video, let's say? Okay, so let's say he's speaking on video and he's talking to people who are interested or looking for a broker or something like that, right? Then you might talk about how, so I'm gonna tell you a quick story here about the first house I ever bought. All right, and as you're listening, I want you to listen for 2 things. I want you to listen for 1, the number 1 mistake that I made when I bought my first house that cost me $80,000, so you don't have to make that same mistake yourself. Is that avoiding a bad thing? Who's already like, tell me the fucking story? Good, right? And then the second thing I want you to listen to is the 1 little language I put in the contract that saved me $24,000. And if you don't know this, it's in almost every contract. You have to put this language in there, otherwise it's not in there, right? And you may end up costing you another 24 grand. This saved me 24 grand though, so I want you to listen to that too. Who's like, all right, I'm in, tell me the whole fucking story. All I did was tell you 1 thing it's gonna help you avoid, the number 1 mistake, for instance, that cost me this much money, and this 1 thing that you can do, a little piece of language you put in the contract to make you an extra 24 grand. Does that make sense? That's it. Who here thought it was way more complicated? You're like, oh fuck, it's easy. My bad, I don't know how to make it hard. It's easy. It's really, no. Now, is like the language I just said here, the number 1 mistake to avoid that cost me 80 grand, is that good copy, yes or no? Yes, that's good copy. Have I been writing copy every day since I was 20 years old? Yes, I'm in my 11th year of doing this, so I'm good at it. But you don't need, like, I could have said some rancid shit and it still probably would have worked. Like, make sure you listen to the story because when I bought my first house, I fucked up and it cost me a lot. And I want to make sure you don't make the same mistake. You're still going to listen, aren't you? Am I tuning it back into what's in it for me radio? You guys getting this? Okay. So here's what I want to do real quick. All right, we're going to take like 5 minutes, and I want you to stand up. Do that first. Stand up. All right, and all I want you to do is practice with a partner next to you, and I want you to say to them, imagine that you're about to tell them a story, right? Just a short story. You don't even have to tell them the story. Just imagine you're going to tell them the story. So you'll say something like, now I'm going to tell you a story about the first time I bought my first house, got my first car, any story you want it to be about. Doesn't matter. That's not the point. So I'm going to say the story thing, and then I'm going to say, and I really want you to pay attention because, and then you're going to give them 2 reasons why they should pay attention. 1 reason why they should pay attention because it'll help them avoid something bad, and then 1 reason why they should pay attention because it'll help them get something that's good. Does that make sense? Yeah. Okay, go. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Beautiful. All right. What did you guys notice as you were doing that? What did you see? What went well? What didn't? What did you learn? Yes. You were actually interested in what he was about to say. Amazing. Isn't it cool? Remember we said there's like 4 things you need to do to hold people's attention? Do you think that's one of them? Yeah, totally. Tell them what the fuck it has to do with them, and they will probably listen. It's that simple. Right? Make it super relevant for them. Tell them the bad, they'll avoid, and the good, that they'll get. That's it. That's it. By the way, I do that just so you guys know because, like, in my opinion, we're all just really tall 7-year-olds. Right? That's what we are. So, like, we still respond to this stuff when we were, like, 7. Like, and tonality, as we'll talk about a lot, is huge. That's why when I do that, like, the words don't matter. You get what I'm saying. Like, bad, good. You know bad things, good things. You get that. And when I have my dogs, they do something bad, and they make bad noise. And they stop. Right? And they do something good, I go, good boy. And they get really happy. Their tail wags. Right? You're no different. I'm no different. Okay, cool. So you're actually interested. What else? Yes?
I feel like leading with the pain makes the benefit more intense.
Yes. Totally, yeah. So just so you guys are aware, people are twice as motivated to move away from pain as they are to move towards pleasure. That's why, for instance, in copy, a hook like 4 foods to never eat before bed works better than 4 foods you should always eat before bed. 4 foods before bed would be a lot of foods, by the way, right? Yeah. The rapid gain diet, yes?
Don't get bogged down in the details.
Don't get bogged down in the details. Again, they're not even remembering the words that you say. You guys don't remember what the fuck I said this morning. You remember like the important points. That's why they're on the wall. And you remember the stories. You remember some of the demonstrations. You don't remember all the words that I said. If I told you to transcribe the last 66 minutes, no clue. You'd have no clue. And that's fine. In fact, that's really good for us, isn't it? So we don't have to be perfect fucking speakers. We just have to bring the energy and stay with the right structures in psychology. And we're going to hold the audience for as long as we want to. Right? Good. What else? Yes?
Question, table it or?
Table it. Yep. We're going to table it. I'll get back. Yes.
So I kind of had like a little mini breakthrough on how to start off stories because there's moments where I'm really good at telling stories and moments where I'm not that good at telling stories.
What was the breakthrough?
Just starting off like I noticed that I tell stories more in my interest and doing that right there just made me realize having the other person's interest to start off first.
Yeah, like especially if you guys have ever studied like pickup or game or any of that kind of stuff where they teach storytelling and things, like all the storytelling that they teach in that world is about how to make yourself look good while telling the story. How to make you sound like you're a valuable, in-demand leader of other people waiting lines for you, like to make yourself look cool in stories. They don't give a fuck about the person listening. That's not the best way to tell the story. I change each story I tell, not the facts, but the way I tell it to match the person listening. I always make it about them, never about me. Because if I have their attention and I make them feel something, what could be cooler than that? Like, it's much cooler to make someone feel something and be like at the end of your story, be like, holy fuck, like this person's a good speaker. I really enjoyed that. Than being like, oh wow, he drives a Lamborghini. Right? Like, the first one's way cooler and has much more of an impact. And if attraction of the opposite sex is what you're interested in, the first one is going to work way better anyways. Way better. Okay, one more. Yes?
So don't overcomplicate it.
Don't overcome.
Simplicity is key.
Yes, so please write this down. There are no perfect words. There are no perfect words. There is no one right way to say anything. There's better ways to say things, certainly, but there's no one right way to say things. So like I saw when you guys were working, you were like trying to get like the benefit and you couldn't figure it out. When you had the words, you just didn't want to say them because there was a filter in your mind saying, nope, that's not good enough, right? And that's a standard that we place on ourselves that society's taught us that doesn't really help us at all, right? There's no standard for what's good enough to say and what's not good enough to say. You guys are all now officially members, you didn't even know, but you applied and have been approved for the London Bridge Conversation Club, all right? The London Bridge Conversation Club is that most people think that, okay, if it's above the bar, like above the standard, I can say things, I can say that. If it's not good enough, it's below the bar, I can't say that. What happened to London Bridge? It fell down, right? So there's nothing you can say that's above it, it's all good enough. Every word, every thought you have, it can be good enough if it comes with the right energy and it's about them, okay? So yeah, when you let go of that and you're like, and it's gonna show you how I turned 3K into 9K in 90 days. That was it. That's all you needed to say, right? That's it. And like you guys, I don't think we need, like you guys know what people want. What do people want? More what? More money? What else do they want? More health? Yes. More recognition? Yes. More time, immortality? Yes. What else? What is it? Sex and love, right? Yes. What else? Yeah, they want more social life, more popularity. What else? More freedom. Yeah. Okay, some people want more sleep. I don't, but okay. What's that? Yeah, validation, recognition. That's like 7 things. I didn't even name them, you did. That's all, like it's not that, we know what people want. Look at any commercial, what are they selling? It'll tell you what people want, right? They want to be higher status. They want to be friends with famous people. They want to be seen as cool. They want to have more money. They want to have financial security. They want to be desired by the opposite sex. There's only a few things that they want. They want to avoid looking stupid, right? Okay. So, real quick, the last thing we're going to do before I bring Dan on real here is this is the model to becoming a power speaker. Again, I said there's only 3 things that go into this. All right, there's only 3 things that make up a power speaker. All right, the first thing is sub-communications. All right, sub-communications. We talked about unleashing. This is about sub-communications. Your vocal tonality, your body language, your eye contact, and your state. All right, that's number 1. What I mean, like, again, is like those things and like being able to create a certain energy and state within yourself so that you can then transfer it onto someone else. All right, so it's sub-communications. Second is story. Who here wants to be a better storyteller? Good. Story is huge. We know this. We're going to go deep into story today. We're going to cover a lot about stories. We're going to answer a lot of questions about stories. We're going to practice different stories. I'm going to show you the most important stories you need to be able to tell over and over. We're going to dial those in. All right, we're going to get your stories down. And then the third one is structure. And when we go over structure, that is going to be the most like relieving piece of information you'll probably ever get in your entire, at least training for your, as a power speaker, by far. Because you'll see that, like, who here is worried that you need to memorize a bunch of shit for like a 2-hour talk? Raise your hand, it's okay. You have to memorize a bunch of shit. Every hand goes up. Cool. Who here is a little concerned that like your memory's not that good, you smoke a little too much weed, that might be an issue? Yeah. I mean, you guys know, I posted on Instagram, I smoke weed every night. Yet people are like, how, Jason, like you remember all this shit, you quote all these people, you got all these stories, like how do you do that? There's fucking structures for this. When I say structure, I mean framework. Like there's a formula to everything that I'm doing. Like this entire, by the way, what time is it right now? 11:24. We've been going for almost 90 minutes. Who here feels like that was 90 minutes already? No. How did I do that? It's not magic. Not magic. Structures. There's a formula. What's cool about this is when we get to structures, I'm even going to teach you the structure I use to structure the first part of this. So you know how to open up any talk or any presentation yourself and grab the audience right away. All right, so structure. If you can get your sub-communications down, your stories down, and your structure down, you will be able to sell anything on video, do anything on ads, speak to an audience for 60 minutes, blow them away. You could go 4 days and blow away an audience. Because the structure is, if you're going longer, you just put in more blocks. There's only like 3 or 4 blocks. If it's a longer talk, you put in more blocks. If it's a shorter talk, you use less blocks. Literally going to be that simple. Who's excited for that? If you are, say yes. Wonderful. All right, so that is going to conclude our intro section for Power Speaker. All right, let's give ourselves some love one time. 1, 2, 3.